Welcome to WD Sports Lounge. Alright, this video is about LeBron James. And as you all know that LeBron James has been kicked out of the playoffs for the second year in a row. Knocked out the first round. And a lot of creators are out there stating the obvious that LeBron James is just not the player that he used to be, and that he should, one, leave the Lakers, or two, retire. Now, for me, I'm not going to tell LeBron to retire because he's still good enough to be serviceable enough, if that makes sense. At 41 years old or 40 years old, he's still moving like some of these 20 or 30-year-olds that are actually still making $100 million a year. So, I'm sorry, $100 million contracts and stuff. So, I'm not going to go say that his ability is diminished to where he can't make a shot. So, I believe in that sense he should still be able to play if he has the will enough to play. But, having said that, if you're going to be playing this long as a 40-year-old, accumulating contracts and accumulating wealth from the NBA, you can't have it both ways, my friend. You are no longer the player that merits the coverage, the media coverage, the accolades that you receive as a 40-year-old, because you're not that player anymore. You're not that player that put the team on his back and led them to an NBA Finals and winning it. You're not that player. I don't think you ever were that player. Because if you had been that player, you would have stayed in Cleveland and not gone to Miami and led that team to a championship. But you're not that player. There's only one player. There's only one or two players that are like that, that are that player. And we already know that's Michael Jordan, and we could argue Kobe Bryant as well. But LeBron James has never been that player to single-handedly lead his team to winning a championship. He may have led it to finals, but each time he went to the finals, he got annihilated. So now that he's eliminated, you can see that he really doesn't care. He sees himself that he can't win the way the media portrays him, that he's a winner. So instead of going back to the lab and doing the things that winners do, if there's a mishap, he goes on a podcast and say he's at peace with it. He's at a point in his life where he's at peace with losing. Because at the end of the day, he did his part. I put up my numbers. Luka put up his numbers. What about the other 13 scrubs that's on the team? It's not just me and him. This guy, man, this guy will throw you under the bus at any given moment whatsoever. All he does is just discredit all his teammates. And the crazy part about it is his teammates that's put him in the plateau, the pedestal that he's in right now. His teammates are part of the reason why there is a GOAT debate, which I don't even know why y'all talking GOAT debate. There's no debate about it. I get it. Yeah, it's good for clicks. It's good for conversation. You know, it's good for confrontation, actually, because there's a couple of times that I've had this good discussion with a few friends of mine, and I felt, you know, I was yelling at the top of my lungs to try to get my point across. So yeah, it serves for a great subject matter, but it is no subject. There's no conversation that's merit reality, factual reality. There's no GOAT debate. Because the greatest of all time, when they lose, you know what? They're back on the lab the next day. Ain't no vacation. Because there has to be a reason, and we have to fix the problem that didn't cause the ultimate result. So when Jordan lost to the Pistons, Jordan spent the whole summer lifting weights, getting his body right, and making sure that he could absorb those blows when they were mutting him at the rim, mauling him, pack of wild dogs, just straight. He did what he had to do, and when he came back stronger, and he dominated. And at that point, you saw the rest. The rest was history. Kobe Bryant. The same thing with Kobe. There's a specific game. It's not a championship game, but it was a regular game, and it was a very publicized game. I'm not sure what year it was. It could be 2006 or it could be 2007. But there was a game that Kobe Bryant came to play the Miami Heat, and at this point, I think Dwayne Wade was the leading scorer of the league, and Kobe brought his Lakers to Miami. And the Miami Heat wound up winning that game. And it hurt Kobe so much that he lost that game. When everybody was out and about and ready to go hit the Miami Knights, Kobe was in the arena hitting shots because he felt like his shots wasn't hitting when it needed it the most. So he sat there, he punished himself. And most people would call that punishment because it's like, you're a baller, you're an athlete, you're in Miami, you have money. Hey, the game didn't go our way. Let's go celebrate our sorrows. Nah, Kobe was in the gym. Kobe was on the grind, trying to fix the mishaps and the missteps that caused him to lose. That's the mindset of a champion. That's the mindset of a winner. That's the mindset of a person that deserves to be in the GOAT argument. Not the mindset of a person to be like, all right, hey, it's not my fault. You know what I mean? I did my part. You look at my stats. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out with my homeboys. We're going to go to the club and we're going to vibe. Knowing damn well that people, paparazzis, and camera phones everywhere are going to catch you partying the day that you get eliminated from the playoffs. And also, the MCL sprain now gets debunked to a certain degree. Because shout out to Too Raw and Dreamers Pro for pointing these facts out. I listen to their videos. I watch their content. So make sure you subscribe to their channels, Dreamers Pro and Too Raw for TV. They were, they even called it bluff that, the MCL sprain was a fake injury. And you can tell that it is right now because look, anybody that has a sprained MCL or any knee injury, the first thing you're thinking about is getting it iced up or getting it looked at so that way it's not detrimental towards your career in the long run. But instead, this guy is at a party. Now, if I knew I was going to be limping because I had an injury, I'm not going to go to no party. Worst case scenario, I'm a billionaire. Worst case scenario, I'm going to throw my own party. You know what I mean? I'm going to be in the confines of my own domain to where no one can see what I'm doing or no one can put any blame nor judgment of what I got going on. If I am that kind of guy that's going to have the mindset to go party after a loss. At least be discreet about it, LeBron. But no, you're not going to be discreet about it. You know better. You know if you step out on the town, you're going to have these guys on 24-hour watch watching you and making sure they got pictures and evidence of showing what you're doing. You know this. So you purposely go out. You couldn't help yourself. Like 50 Cent said about Puffy, man, you like that girl that likes the attention out of the group. When the attention is not on your side, you find ways to bring the attention to you. No one's talking about you right now because everybody's talking about the playoffs. But you got your little media talking about what you're doing every step of the way. And then you orchestrate certain things to go about having us mention you in the light again, once again. You put a post on X saying that you're not going to the Met Gala. Who cares if you're not going to the Met Gala, bro? In our community, we just started hearing about the Met Gala. I'm speaking for myself. I'm not really a fashion guru like that, but the Met Gala started getting popularized in my point of view from I think the last 5 years. It was always something. It was always something that was like put out there. It was out there, but it was one of the fashion shows for the elites and whatever and stuff like that. So it started getting more generalized and popularized. As more people started talking about it. So I really didn't care about no Met Gala, but the fact that he had to go on X and mention that lets me know that he was seeking that attention. So the comment probably garnished a lot of millions of views and millions of comments, mostly probably bashing him, saying that, dude, we don't care if you're going to the Met Gala or not. You could have kept that to yourself. Of course he could have kept it to himself, but this is LeBron James we're talking about here. The man who grew up with having attention on him his whole life. To a certain degree, you can't even blame the guy, because after a while, if you're doing something as a human being for a long period of time and you're just accustomed to that, you cannot automatically think that someone is going to change right away. That's why I say, and I think Too Raw said this too, this guy's going to be miserable when he retires. Because the attention that he garnishes, the attention that he looks for, he won't be able to get it. Once he gets out of the NBA, he's going to be irrelevant because LeBron James honestly is not doing anything of relevance outside of basketball. His production company, I'm not sure if it's thriving like that. His schools, I've heard mixed responses about what he got going on with that. I mean, he doesn't really have any products out there that's really pushing his shoe line. I mean, like I said, all those things actually are relevant based on the fact that he's still playing basketball. But outside of that, the attention that he's getting right now, he's not going to get that when he retires. So you can't expect for a 25-year smoker to quit the next day. So the same way LeBron's been on the spotlight since he was 13 years old. Or 15 years old playing basketball. He's now 40. So you do the math of how long this guy's had attention on him. So he can't help himself. He likes the attention. So he'll put out a post saying that he's not going to the Met Gala, only for pictures to resurface the day after he loses the playoffs, that he's out partying, painting the town red till 4 a.m. in the morning, along with Rich Paul, his agent, and the Kardashians' mother, I forget her name, but the Kim Kardashian's mother. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not really into the pop thing. I have a brain fart right now, so please forgive me on that one. But he's out partying with these guys. So all I'm saying is that LeBron can't help himself. He needs the attention. He loves the attention. And I think that was just a ploy to have us talk about him again. Well, you know what? We're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about him because he likes the attention. We're going to give it to him. But I know I've been jumping around. I went all over the place with this, but but the subject was on LeBron. And I believe that, in conclusion, that LeBron James puts himself in positions to, he's very calculated. Yeah. Let's keep it real. LeBron James is very calculated in every move that he's done. He's been like that since he's been in the NBA. So there's nothing in my mind that doesn't feel like that this wasn't orchestrated as a ploy to speak about. Because LeBron James doesn't care about negative feedback or positive feedback. He sees it, but he knows it fuels the conversation of having him as a point of conversation. So whether it's good press or bad press, he takes it. So the fact that he posted he wasn't going to the Met Gala, only to have those pictures resurface a couple of days in between. It lets you know what's the one thing that's happening right now that LeBron is not a part of. The NBA playoffs. The NBA playoffs are going on and no one's talking about LeBron advancing to the next round because he's already eliminated. So what does the media do? What does he do? What seeds is planted that causes us to talk about him? They pull out bogus stories. Not bogus stories, but they pull out these kind of stories. He says bogus things on his podcast, throwing his teammates under the bus once again, saying that, hey, he's at peace. He's at peace with losing. He's at peace. I'm rich. You're not. My life is good. Your life sucks. I'm a billionaire. You can barely make $25 an hour. So, hey, you could talk all you want because you're miserable. I'm living my life. I don't care about winning and stuff like that. That's the mentality that LeBron James had. But what LeBron James failed to realize, the people that he's bashing are the people that support him, are the people that actually pay dollars to watch him, that people that actually takes the time to do these videos to talk about him. You know what I mean? It's the people that makes you who you are. And the fact that you have no regard to it just pretty much says what type of person that you are. You know what I mean? You're known as so many things, but it shows your real colors where you stand with that one. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. LeBron James loves the attention. He can't help it. He's the pretty girl in the crowd. If anybody's not sweating him, he has a problem. So he has to concoct a story, or he has to have his media put a story out there so it doesn't seem like he's the one that do it. But the attention around him is just merit that much of attention because he's just that great. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, tell me what y'all think about it. Hey, this is how I feel about it. LeBron James, man, you have a rude awakening coming in the next 5 years. When you're ready to hang it up, you're going to see how difficult it really is because you're over here pooping on the people that loves you, people that support you, the teammates that thought that you had his back. But, hey, if you feel like that's how goats talk, you would never know because you're not a goat. All right. This is the WD Sports Lounge signing off. Catch y'all later. Enjoy the vibes. Like, share, subscribe if you like this video. Drop your comments if you have any opinions.